Thank you. It feels great to be here all together. Feeling of together is amazing here. I would like to start with one short story of Buddha. Once Buddha was asked, "What have you gained from meditation?" He replied, "Nothing. However, I will let you know what I have lost. I have lost my anger, my anxiety, my insecurity, my greed, and my fear." At a very young age, I was sent to the monastery by my grandparents with one very important assignment. An assignment to find human in me. In their eyes, I did not even qualify as a human. What they saw in me was pain, resentment, hate, anger, and despair. So my journey to monastery was not about becoming something. It was not about becoming a great master or a holy man or an enlightened being. My journey to monastery was about unbecoming, shedding everything that was not me. I needed to shed my destructive thought patterns, my destructive habits, my harmful behaviors, to unwrap and reveal the tiny seed of human in me. As a little monk growing up in a monastery, I learned that my pain is my resources. My most unbearable pain is my most powerful resources. Pain is not suffering, but holding on to your pain is a suffering. As I was growing up, I found that my story and my struggles are not really unique. There are so many children in this world, they go through very similar problems and challenges in their life. Yet they struggle to find a place where they can understand their pain and learn how to transform their pain into resources for their growth. They struggle to find a place where they can learn to unbecome and shed every negative things they have inside. Of course, we have many schools. We have good schools. We have great schools. And most of our schools are interested in accepting the very good students because they can turn very good students into best. But unfortunately, most children in our world, they do not start their life with good condition. So naturally, these children become uninvited and unwanted at the very young age. With these ideas and one question in my mind, can schools become a place to unbecome and heal the young wounded hearts and mind? In another word, can schools make children's well-being, their happiness, highest priority in their teachings and learning? In order to find the answer for this question, in 2006, in a remote Himalayan village, I started Jhamtse Gatsal Children's Community. Jhamtse Gatsal in our language means the garden of love and compassion. The school of unbecoming for the uninvited and unwanted children. In 2007, a year later, I got a call from my friend, and he said to me, "Lobsang, you need to visit this village near Tibet. The one family is struggling to survive. They lost their dad very recently, and single mother is struggling to feed her children and survive. They need your attention. They need your support." We drove to that remote village next day. When we arrived there, mother was very stressed. And first half an hour, she tried so hard to convince us to take her brightest kid, her well-mannered, disciplined, and smartest kids with us. Because she knew we cannot take her all children, because we have very limited resource. We can only afford to take one kid with her, with us. And I listened very patiently and respectfully to her. And after, when she was done trying to convince us whatever she has to do, I asked her, "Can you please now introduce me your naughtiest child like me?" And she looked very confused and puzzled by my request. Very reluctantly, she pointed her finger at one very naughty child. I said, "I'll take her with me." Then she looked more confused by my decision. I had to explain her the reason why I am taking her. Smartest ones, brightest ones, everybody wants them. Everybody loves them. And they have plenty of place to go. But the naughtiest one, they don't have much place to go. And she is a perfect candidate for our school of unbecoming. She needs to unbecome and she needs to heal. Therefore, I am not taking your brightest kid, I'm taking your naughtiest kid with me. The process of unbecoming and healing is a long journey. It's a journey like a roller coaster journey. In the community, we try to encourage them and empower them, our children, to see they are much bigger than feelings and their emotions. They are much bigger than their destructive emotions. We ask them, how do you want to contribute to the humanity? We do not ask this question to them, what do you want to become? Rather, we ask them, how do you want to contribute to the humanity? That helps them to see they are bigger than their feelings and emotions. In order to understand this question and internalize, we took one group of our children to another village near a Bhutan border. That's a very, very remote village. We gave them very specific tasks, very purposeful tasks to fulfill. We asked them to identify their biggest challenge in their school and come up with a sustainable solution for that problem. They went, spent time, lots of time with the children and teachers in that school. They came back to me and they said, the biggest problem in that school is poverty, hunger. We noticed that children go to bed hungry without the food most of the time. And our solution to this is we're going to start fundraising. We're going to reach out to our sponsors and friends and all over the world and ask them to help us do the fundraising. And then we're going to buy a food and deliver to them. Then I challenge with them, there are two different kinds of compassion we practice in modern society. One is convenient compassion, and another compassion is inconvenient compassion. I said, I will challenge you to practice and understand inconvenient compassion, not the convenient compassion. In order to practice and understand the inconvenient compassion, you need to reflect deep inside you and find something you really treasure and you really like and you are attached to. And think about giving that away to fulfill somebody's needs. It is an exchange of your greed, your wants, and their needs. Can you do this? They asked me to give one more day to think about that. They left. Next day, they came with the joy. They said to me, I think we found a solution. I said, what was the solution? They said, we decided to give up one meal every week. Entire community came with the joy and wholeheartedly supported them and made a pledge that from that day, every week on Wednesday, our community give up one warm meal to feed these children. It's 6 years that we are practicing that. And that day, we just drink a 1 cup of milk and survive on that. When we practice love, when we do something good for the other people out of compassion and love, we become so joyful. It re-energizes us. It rejuvenates us. You know, it revives the purpose of being human. It rekindles our human spirit. Look at this kid. They're giving up at the night of the no dinner night. Do they look fatigued, exhausted, and sad, or they look joy and happy? Happiness and joy on their face is the true manifestation of unbecoming. The unbecoming which leads to the healing, and that healing leads to the contributor or the giver of love, the giver of compassion. I would like to conclude my talk with another short story here. A wise physician once said, the best medicine for human is love. Someone asked him, what if it doesn't work? He smiled and answered, increase the dose. Thank you.